Hey, very good afternoon, guys. Welcome back for another New York session here on the stream. Hope everybody can hear me loud and clear. Let me know in the chat if the audio is working properly and if you can hear me loud and clear, guys. And then we're going to wait for everybody to join in and then we're going to kick it off. So let me know also where you're tuning in from in the world today. Super curious to hear where you guys are all from. Obviously, the first comment is from Peter. I hope you're doing good, my man, all the way there in Australia. Australia, mate. Maybe you can from Australia. How's life, Peter? Yo, Luke. Hope you're doing good. Hendry's Travel from the Netherlands. We have Maud from Singapore. We have Jordan, as always, all the way in Pakistan, Montreal, India, Nigeria, Australia, Mozambique, Colorado, Canada, Morocco, Mozambique, Iran. Fantastic. We have everybody in the house, guys. That's great. So yeah, again, take your time to tune in, and then we're going to kick it off, obviously, as always, with the stream. I'm going to get you guys engaging and super curious to hear what setups you guys have been looking out for and have been checking. In the meantime, markets obviously have been extremely consolidative, not really moving anywhere, mainly have been moving sideways. So myself, not really been in the markets yet as of this week, waiting for most setups to form. But there have been some movements on gold so far this week. So I do think that there are some potential setups going to start playing out on gold. But yeah, let's see. Let's give everybody a few more minutes to tune in. Let me know in the chat, guys, what trades you are in, what setups you've been keeping an eye on. And indeed, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, guys. So yeah, let me know what setups you guys have been keeping an eye on, and let's see if we can identify any potential trades during this session. Because as we can see, I mean, NZDUSD, one of the main pairs that I've been looking at, which has been moving pretty interesting. But for the rest, I mean, yeah, AU consolidating, GU obviously consolidating, EU obviously as well consolidating and stuck. But super curious to hear what setups you guys have been keeping an eye out for. So let's dive into it. Checking out the chat. So what do we have here? I see NZDUSD shorts indeed. NZDUSD, one of the better pairs, to be very honest, at the moment, which has been playing out, I think, in my opinion, quite beautifully so far. Overall, definitely one of the higher probability plays across the board. We can clearly see here on the higher time frame, being the daily, that NU has been consolidating pretty heavily, overall moving sideways within this overall blue box. Now, what we tend to look for when we talk about liquidity is for the overall high to be swept and for the overall low to be swept. Now, the high has been swept, but the low not yet. So I'm still waiting for NZDUSD to push down a little bit lower. For now, the confluences for further downside are still here on the chart. As we can very clearly see, the overall fractal is bearish here on the chart, with this being the fractal high, this being the fractal low. The market retraces in towards the overall buy before the sell. So at any point in time, can the market then be ready to continue its overall sell-off in towards the downside? Now, from a liquidity perspective, NU is very clean, because as we can see here on Friday, this God candle up, that's the NFP candle, right, with that bearish candle as well. So what I tend to do always after NFP or after any big news announcement has played out is to mark out the overall high of the range and the overall low, right? So because what the market tends to do is that it tends to swipe both the high and the low of that news announcement. So what's now happening here on NZDUSD is that, okay, the high has been swept, which is literally above this overall NFP high, and now I'm just waiting for the overall NFP low to be swept as well. A lot of traders would consider this liquidity. Well, this can obviously, yes, fuel somewhat of a move up, but for me, it's just too low probability, as I just view this also as a fake area of demand, as it's just purely based on a news event. So I'm waiting for NZDUSD to head down lower in towards this overall red box, as this is actually, to be very honest, the only kind of like short setup that has somewhat of a high probability to actually play out. Because overall, if I look at a GU, for example, yes, GU also has the probability of playing out, as it did swipe the overall highs. But then again, the momentum is not really there on GU as it is on NU. Therefore, I would preferably want to be in NU. Looking at an EU, so a EURUSD, here we can as well very clearly see that the overall high of the range still remains untapped for now. We can again very clearly see that the overall highs are still yet to be taken out of that NFP, and also the overall range low, which is, to be very honest, all the way down here. So I do see some potential for EURUSD to head down lower towards those overall liquidity lows before providing us with any further upside. Therefore, I'm also not interested in looking at EURUSD buys from here, but at the same time, also not really looking at those sells, just because of the fact that I really want to wait for 4-hour alignment, which would mean I need one more push up. Then here comes the fractal low, fractal break, and then I would look to short back down in towards those overall liquidity lows. So that's kind of what I have for EURUSD and what I'm waiting for on that side. And last of all, of course, gold. A lot of you are very interested in gold. Gold is currently pushing up higher after grabbing some internal liquidity. On the 1-hour time frame, it will become a little bit more clear. Again, here we have pretty much this area of demand. Demand had already been filled the first time, and now we're coming down lower. I think this is on the Monday's low of the pre-New York session, and that's now causing an overall reversal. For myself, for gold, I would prefer one more drive up to pretty much, let's say, 3,400, so 33.96. That's kind of like what I'm looking at before looking for any potential shorts back in towards the downside. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking for on gold. I see one more potential sell-off opportunity here for gold before looking for, again, some further shorts. So let's see if those shorts were to play out in the near future and then eventually make an overall connection with that daily sell before the buy. So yeah, let's see if we get that. That's currently what I'm waiting for. Take out these descending highs and this high over here, and then maybe look for a short on gold opportunity. Yeah, that's what I have on there. So what are your predictions on gold, guys? What are you currently looking for on gold, and what would you like to see? The micro chart is still here, to be very honest. Still also being used. Pretty much the same setup. As you can see here, the 4-hour order flow on this is still holding, and I'm now looking for this pretty much just to push gold up one more time before looking for maybe a deeper correction overall in towards, let's say, the very first kind of like liquidity low that was formed within, let's say, the 1-hour time frame, which consists of all of these ascending lows that we have over here. So that's kind of like what I'm looking for at the moment on gold. Let's see, USDJPY, GBPJPY shorts. Looking at gold, the 1 hour is pushing lower with a bearish change of character and a 1 hour order block. I'm looking to get a retest of the 1 hour order block and then look for 5 to 3 minute bearish engulfing or a bearish change of character with a body close. Gold longs, USDJPY. Yeah, let's have a look at GJ. Let's have a look at UJ and what those pairs have been doing so far. So overall, if we look at GJ itself, from a daily perspective, obviously has sold off pretty aggressively in towards the downside. If we bring it up a time frame to, let's say, the weekly, we can see here that on the weekly perspective, these descending highs have been taken out, right? So as soon as we kind of come above this overall swing high that we have for the weekly on GJ, the overall market tends to, yeah, let's say, reverse back in towards the downside. So liquidity gets grabbed on the weekly, then it starts consolidating and moving sideways here until we see a big sell-off in towards the downside, meaning that for now, this here is our main area of supply. Now, I'm looking for more downside continuation on GJ in the near future. I see this as a lot of liquidity still being open underneath this overall trend line. So I'll be looking for the overall continuation play. Does the market need to retrace as high as into this overall buy before the sell? No, it's not necessary, but it would be a higher probability play for myself on GJ. Yeah, guys, don't forget to leave a like. Yeah, Rucker doing Rucker things, guys. So, yeah, that's what I have for GJ. Looking at that potentially. To be honest, I would also just be happy if we take out this high over here as liquidity and then kind of like fuel the next move down. Wouldn't necessarily have to go all the way up in towards that area of supply. before selling off for myself. Obviously, if we do kind of like sell off from here, then again, in return, I'll be looking for a long as soon as we swipe underneath this low, as we then have the maturement of the overall 1, 2, 3, which could cause the overall reversal back in towards the upside. So that's what I would be looking for on GJ, either this long over here to be taken, or I would be looking for a short position once the liquidity gets grabbed and fuels that next move down after seeing that overall bearish confirmation on GJ. Looking at dollar yen has started to push up a little bit higher. Overall, from a daily perspective, what I'm looking at here is the fact that the overall range high still remains untouched. So for myself, there's still liquidity resting above this overall daily swing high. That is preferably from where I want to be looking for a short position. For now, daily demand here is in control, with the fractal low being here, the fractal high being here. So we're just looking for an overall continuation play on USDJPY. From a 4-hour perspective, yes, the 4-hour change of character was made here. After breaking this 4-hour fractal high, you get the push down, push up, push down, push up, push down, and now you get the push up. Overall, I'm playing a little bit safer on UJ. Let's see if we can break this high with conviction, and then I'll look to get in on kind of like the higher area of the overall leg. For me, it's a little bit too aggressive to already get into buy positions over here. Stay greeny. Is the trading pit reliable? Yes, it is reliable. You can join through the link in the description of this video. During the stream, again, we'll give away a $25,000 challenge with the trading pit, and all you need to do is sign up with them through scanning the QR code, which is here on the right bottom of the screen. That's all you need to do. Or I've dropped the link here in the chat. You can also sign up through there if it works. So yeah, that is that. You can sign up here, I think. No, it doesn't work. Just sign up through the link in the description of the video, or just scan the QR code. That's pretty much just the easiest way. In the meantime, guys, don't forget to join the free Discord server as well. I'm sharing. I'm on the wrong account. That's why. I'm on the market update account. Let me just switch accounts real quick as well. In the meantime, guys, let's see what pairs you are looking for. That's what I'm now curious to hear from you guys. What setups are you looking for? Please mention if you're looking for a buy or for a sell, and what pair. Fabio, please warn for scammers impersonating you. Yes, obviously, guys, there's a lot of scammers out there trying to impersonate me, but I think most of you are aware of that. I hope at least you are. In the meantime, also don't forget to leave a like, guys, on the stream. How many likes on the stream do we have so far? Only 109, guys. Make sure to leave a like on the stream. Okay, let's see what pairs everybody's keeping an eye on for today. By the way, guys, make sure to join the Discord, as that's where we are going to go live after the stream here on YouTube. So that is pretty much UJ. For the rest, let's see, what are you guys looking for? EURUSD, George, EURUSD is consolidating. Pretty impossible to trade that at the moment. I see somebody looking for AUDUSD longs. Yeah, AU is a difficult one, to be very honest. I'm not really a big fan of taking longs here myself, but I do see their potential to be for further upside. I am favoring a further upside push to take out these descending highs here. Moreover, I do see kind of like the descending corrective price action that we're getting here. So I am looking for another drive up before any eventual push down, 100%. But for me, it's not in my strategy to look for longs necessarily from here, but it is to look for shorts from these higher levels. So that's for now what I'm waiting for. The overall buy before the sell, or this daily imbalance here, that's what I'm looking to sell from in towards the downside. So waiting for those AUDUSD short setups to play out. And that is, yeah, currently what I'm waiting to see on AU. I see somebody asking about a GP NZD short position. GP NZD is one of those pairs, man, that really just don't waste your time on it. This for me is just a range, and you really want to be sticking to the overall extremes of that range. So I would say just stick to selling from here and stick to buying from down over here. but don't tend to look for any positions from where the market is currently trading at. Looking at those euro positions, overall the euro sold off hard last week, but is now rebounding. I spoke about those euro NZD shorts and euro AUD shorts with a lot of traders as well. They were asking me, Fabio, can we now sell the overall bearish order flow which we were having here last week? Most of you probably identified this here. Now, yeah, I mean, look, the thing is with a euro NZD, right? So if we look at this piece of price action here, all right, so we get the impulse up, we get the correction down, we get the impulse up, we get the big correction down, and now we have the bullish impulse in towards the highs again. Now, within this overall green zone, we're in an impulsive phase where pretty much the only thing you want to be doing is looking for potential buying opportunities. I don't like selling within an impulsive phase because at any point in time, in my opinion, can the market continue buying up in towards the upside, right? So at this point in time, yes, you get a daily bearish fractal market structure shift. And let's say you swing trade this down, right? You think, okay, daily fractal is good. I need at least a 1 to 2 risk to reward. Let's say, okay, I'm targeting this low and these lows, and this is the open demand from where I then want to look for long again. This is like the perfect situation, right? This is too perfect nearly. Then what happens here on Euro NZD is that, look, so it starts selling off. Then what happens, you identify this as a new area of supply, you get confident, you think, okay, here I start selling again in towards the downside, another 1 to 2, and then boom, it reverses and pretty much just tags you out. So that's the issue with selling in an impulsive phase of the market, and especially with the phase that we're currently inside of. For now, this is the area of demand that is in control. So if I were trading Euro NZD, I would be interested in looking for further buying opportunities on this, okay? So I'm looking now to actually, well, I'm not trading Euro NZD actively, but I would be looking now to go long within this overall daily area of demand. Go down 4-hour time frame, messy as hell. 8-hour time frame as well, 2-hour time frame maybe. Yeah, so maybe on the 2-hour it becomes a little bit more clean, but let's say you just wait for, let's say, this area of demand here to get hit. This resonates approximately with what? With the 0.5 fib. So wait for a retracement deeper and then look for the overall upside continuation plays again once it is clear that bulls come into the market and you see like the change of character start to happen. Once you see like a double change of character, that is then where you can get into those buying opportunities. So I see potential Euro NZD buys start coming into play towards the end / beginning of next week. Moving onwards to a pair like Euro AUD. Yeah, this is also just shithousery, dirty as hell. Not a pair that I would be too active and happy to trade. Let's see, some of those other NZD pairs, like NZDCAD has been one of the gold mines of recent weeks. Discussed this in many of the streams, also with Rutger last week, where we had a swing high that was bearish here. Then we had a swing low down over here. So the overall market is bearish. Obviously, the market then retraces into premium pricing. Overall, we consolidate for a very long period of time. We come to the, let's say, range high over here. And this is what we do every single time, guys. You identify an overall range, you come towards the range high, and then you look for the reversal down. You come towards the range low, and you look for the reversal up. It's really as simple as that. But the only thing that you need to have is obviously the patience to be able to wait for those moments within the market where the real high probability reversals come. Now, at the moment, from a fractal perspective, bearish here and bearish here. So this is perfect alignment, which I love to call on structure. So we have MS, and then from a MS perspective, right, so market structure perspective, both the swing and both the fractal are down. So therefore, we're looking for shorting opportunities. Then what you do is you go in towards the 4-hour time frame, and on the 4-hour time frame, what you can then identify again is the overall immediate, let's say, structure as well, swing bearish from this high in towards this low. All of the descending highs get taken out, and then what happens here is that we get the bearish fractal structure shift, and then from that supplies, and you're pretty much just looking to short. So I mean, NZDCAD overall has been a beautiful setup, bringing in a lot of returns, so looking still for this to break the current fractal low. So maybe there would be some short-term scalping opportunities to look for shorts on this. Moving on into NZDCHF, also a pair that we've been actively monitoring. This also sold off again. There were some people asking me, Fabio, can we take an NZDCHF long? This is the exact reason why I just hate longing when price is trading over here, because yes, you might see kind of like a daily fractal structure shift and you view this as a sub for the buy to buy up, but the overall direct momentum is in towards the downside. So you don't really want to be getting into aggressive just based on one fractal structure shift, when yes, maybe you have an imbalance here, but it's also not kind of like really a trend reversal imbalance whatsoever. So for me, I'm just looking for the further downside continuation. This here is the buy before the sell. For the Swiss franc, the president of Switzerland, as far as I'm aware, is currently in the United States trying to establish new trade deals with the United States and with Trump. Any positive news on that could push the Swiss franc down lower. So for now, from a swing perspective, it's bearish. From a daily fractal structure, it's bearish. From a 4-hour fractal structure, it's bearish as well. From a 4-hour swing perspective, it is bearish as well. So I'm looking, with this being the swing high, this being the swing low, for this to sell off further. So that's a potential setup there for you guys to be trading. AUDCHF, looking at this as well, though I must say it is also very, very rangy. Yeah, no, I would focus more on NZDCHF between AUDCHF and NZDCHF. I think NZDCHF is a little bit cleaner. Let's see. Another pair that we can always look at is EURGBP. EURGBP itself has started to push down slightly after obviously coming into a massive liquidity high here at the top. Liquidity gets grabbed. The market pushes down, back down in towards this fresh daily demand zone. Now, EURGBP is a little bit complicated, as this is the buy before the sell here, which is currently in control after grabbing liquidity. But the 4-hour time frame is still fractal bullish. I would be looking for another long opportunity in towards the upside on this, to be very honest. So I would look for some more longs on EURGBP once it starts to form some kind of like support base. For now, the descending market structure is in control, so wait for a real, let's say, swing shift to happen there. Going into silver. Silver, I know a lot of traders looking for some potential buys. I think silver buys are a good option. Overall here, silver is in bullish order flow on the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, we have the overall sell for the buy here in control at the moment. We can see so far that we've got some bullish positive reaction from that. Again, there was an overall open area of daily demand here, and it's now using the fractal structure here as liquidity to fuel the next leg up. So I'm looking for the overall upside continuation here for silver to happen in towards the highs. For me, the 4-hour time frame doesn't really have any liquidity. This here is also not a valid area of supply. So yes, I'm looking for at least these descending highs to get taken out next on silver. So I'm looking for some longs there on silver myself. Let's see. We have, of course, USDCAD as well, which a lot of you want to learn about or see. USDCAD in itself, I'm looking for some upside continuation on this as well. For now, overall, the market is daily fractal bullish, and if we zoom out to the weekly time frame, we are coming from a weekly area of demand. So I'm anticipating on the fact that this could see some potential further upside. Also with the dollar index obviously being quite bullish as well at the moment, I still see there to be some potential further upside. For now, the dollar is still ranging, so I'm not too actively engaging with those dollar setups at the moment. For me, this is just the overall area of consolidation, and I'll be waiting for this to break out. Preferably, I would want to see another spike in towards the downside, really take out all of the lows aggressively, and then aggressive V-shaped reversal to then long this, and then eventually take out the NFP high. If I do, however, see this already start to break out, then I'll already get in here on the overall demand chain to take out that NFP high. That for me is the overall mission for this week. So yeah, that is what I have for the dollar. Now, again, guys, EURUSD is consolidating and slow, so I would really not be happy to be in any positions on this. It's a waiting game on EURUSD. On USDCHF, a pair that we have not yet discussed today, the overall momentum is still in towards the upside. For me, USDCHF has an area of daily demand that is still in control here. Looking at this from a weekly perspective, though, I must say the weekly here is still in control supply-wise. So it still has the potential to push the market down lower. And we have Akshit Kadian, who is spamming the chat, and you are banned for fucking life, mate. See you never ever again. Sorry guys for the language, but so stupid. Guys, really don't spam the chat. Nobody likes that. We'll dive into indices in a second as well. But USDCHF currently still has supply here on the weekly time frame in control. From a daily perspective, the thing is, I'm liking this area of demand, and I'm also liking the fact that we have a lot of descending highs. Like, I would prefer another leg up, but to be very honest here on USD Swiss, another leg down would be actually even nicer first before the next leg up, just because you kind of like want to grab some more lows. And also from a daily perspective, it would be higher probability if the daily fractal were to shift bullish as well. Let's have a look at indices for you guys. Let's have a look at NAS 100. Let's have a look. If the dollar index goes up, can we see a dump on gold? Yeah, could happen for sure. Let's see. So Fabio, can you share your thoughts on the yen fundamentally? So the fundamentals on yen, it's gaining some traction. Again, they're still looking at increasing rates, or looking at a rate hike. Elaine, they've been looking at this for bloody millions of days. It's so slow. But the yen overall is and seems to be bullish. There's quite a few reasons for that. Let me quickly check what I have on that. So the yen has potential to be bullish for a few reasons. So the shifting central bank dynamics and capital flow behavior. So obviously the Bank of Japan has a tightening bias or reducing dovishness, so there seem to be more hawkish, which means increasing or raising interest rates. For now, let's see. Yeah, so I mean, for now, from a central bank perspective, it still makes sense to look for more buys on the Japanese yen. However, political instability is the main risk, so you need to really do your reading on that. But for the rest, just pretty much those are the two main drivers for now behind yen strength, and that is just the fact that interest rate hikes still seem on the table as one of the only global economies, or it's one of the only central banks in the world that is currently looking at really raising interest rates as opposed to cutting them. Let's have a look. GBP Swiss shorts. So to be honest, the momentum has kind of died down here on G Swiss. We were looking at some shorts quite a while ago. Overall, we can see that we had a very impulsive phase happen over here, and now we've kind of like transformed into a more, let's say, consolidative phase right over here. So for myself, what I'm seeing here on G Swiss is that it's consolidating near the lows. Overall, let's wait and see. I don't really see any good opportunities on G Swiss besides the fact that it's just consolidating. I think there is still potential for it to kind of like raid the highs. In regards to that, I would view this here as, let's say, a consolidation now, where previously this was your consolidation range. Here you raid the low, here again you raid the low, but the highs, they remain unrated. So I would preferably want to see a high raid before any further downside push. NASDAQ. Let's have a look at NASDAQ. So NASDAQ in itself, obviously momentum is further in towards the highs. NASDAQ is rallying on the expectation that there's going to be a rate cut in September. I think there's an 88% chance that the Federal Reserve in the United States is going to cut interest rates. Cutting of interest rates is good for stocks because it causes or enables companies to borrow money cheaper, and it boosts the overall economy, and it boosts the overall expectation of earnings because people will spend more money in an economy where interest rates are cut. So that's currently pushing NASDAQ up higher. For now, it grabbed a lot of liquidity, which is nice to see. It's reversing pretty hard. And what I can say is that it's grabbed a lot of liquidity again underneath all of these descending lows, and I'll just be looking for the overall continuation back up into new all-time high for NASDAQ. As simple as that. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I mean, guys, gold we've discussed many times. I see some potential for shorts on the table if it pushes up higher. German 40 at the moment, I think it's made its move in towards the downside. Everything has been pretty much grabbed. I'll be looking for some more longs from these levels. After seeing this overall demand zone here get tapped into, it's taken out the entire kind of like ascending structure in towards the highs. All of those lows have been taken. Aggressive V-shape reversal. I would be looking just for a buy up continuation on German 40 back up in towards a new in towards a new all-time high. That's what I would be looking at. AUDJPY. So AJ in itself, let's see. Yeah, so AJ is one of those pairs that I would favor. The thing is, like, I'm not too bullish on the Australian dollar at the moment. I'm also not too bearish on the yen, but from a technical perspective purely, it looks good for an upside continuation. I mean, the overall sub for the buy here on the daily is still bullish. So these are kind of like the imbalances that should push the market up higher from a weekly perspective. From a daily perspective, yes, we might be fractal bearish, but if you look at the 4-hour time frame, you can clearly see that we have a lot of descending highs here. So I would favor another leg up on Aussie yen. We've pretty much again taken out all of this descending trendline liquidity. So if we break the current fractal high, I'll be looking for some more longs to take out these highs here. But I don't really trade Aussie yen. And we have the Gold Fanboy Club back in the building, guys. Let's have a look for you guys on gold. Again, I've drawn the bloody line. So let's see. It's pumping now. And I'm looking for a continuation of gold in towards the highs. I want to see another pump up on gold today. I'm expecting the overall high of this doji candle to get taken out before then looking for a potential short. So let's see if that happens. One more drive up before short down. So yeah, I'm looking for some trades on the dollar pairs, but I mean, what's there to say on your USD, which is my favorite pair, obviously, besides the fact that it's consolidating. GU, I'm looking for another push up on the immediate short term to take out this overall high that we have over here, to then create a one drive, a second drive, and then a third drive before an overall sell-off or a bigger sell-off, which would resonate with the overall daily fractal structure and the fact that on the daily time frame, right underneath that NFP wick, that is where a lot of liquidity lies. So I'm still definitely looking for a GBPUSD short to these levels over here. So that is what I'm waiting for, but I'm going to get in once we see the 1, 2, 3 confirmation with then the fractal structure confirming my overall entry. So that's what I'm currently waiting for on GU. And once that happens, I'll let you guys know that I'm going to get in. Yeah, that's pretty much that. So yeah, let's see. In the meantime, maybe some further shorts on oil for anybody interested in it, but yeah, my main focus remains on EURUSD, but GBPUSD. So yeah, GBPUSD and NZDUSD as well. I'm also looking for shorts on NZDUSD. However, if EU pushes up, which it's likely still to do, then NU will probably give another drive up and not already pushing towards the downside, despite NU looking the best for an overall downside push because you've already grabbed liquidity above the overall NFP high, which occurred here on Friday. So you can see here, we already took out that high. As soon as we take out the high, boom, reverses in towards the downside. So for now here on the 4-hour time frame, the immediate buy before the sell is still in control. So I would be looking for another downside push like this, but it will very much depend on how fast it all happens in relation to EURUSD. It will depend on where EURUSD is trading for this NZDUSD setup to play out. Last setup that we can discuss, guys, is EURCAD. EURCAD itself, guys, what are you looking at? Let me know. I'm very curious to hear. EURCAD is still bullish overall. Yeah, what can I say again on a pair like this, besides the fact that from a daily perspective, it is swing bullish. Yes, you might be inside fractal supply here, but this is not for me a high probability sell-off. I would wait for another long opportunity before even thinking about sells. So maybe you could view this here as a sell opportunity, because a lot of you might be looking to take out all of these lows. But for myself, for any of those shorts to play out, we would need to see another upside push, at least, for example, in towards here. That is a strong area of supply. I'll be looking for a sell from there because it liquidated this overall high over here. So I'm looking for another push up to happen on EURCAD. And I would wait for this low here to get swept, and then wait for the 4-hour change of character double, and then look for long in towards there before then kind of like hedging that overall long with then a short position in towards the downside, and then we'll just see what setup plays out. So yeah, guys, that is it for today's stream. We're gonna head over to Discord. I'm gonna continue over there. We're gonna play some poker or some crunker, whatever the names are of those games inside Discord. So if you're not yet in, make sure to join. The link to Discord is literally in the description of this video. I'll drop it now here in the chat. You'll have the opportunity to ask questions over there. That is also where I'm going to be giving away the $25,000 training pit challenge. So yeah, make sure to be inside Discord, as that's where everything is going on. Yeah, again, I'm going to try and identify some trade setups, but today doesn't seem like the major dollar pairs are really going to give anything. I'm waiting for those setups to play out, and yeah, I'm waiting for pretty much just that to play out until I can really take any positions myself. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic day, and on Thursday we're back with another live stream for the New York session. So guys, thanks very much. Wish you all a fantastic afternoon or evening and or morning, and speak soon. Yeah, all the interesting setups are shared inside Discord as always within the market updates channels. Thanks, guys.